Hey everybody, hello, and welcome in. It is time for Three Guys Before the Game. And this is episode number 724. This is WVU Baseball, the greatest season ever. Unfortunately, it has come to an end. We'll recap our unforgettable trip to Omaha. We'll break it all down, what's it all mean, and more. Three guys before the game, and all three are, in fact, they're here. Senator ready. Dean is ready. And so are we. Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Gomart. Get yourself that app immediately and begin saving on your food and fuel. Go to Gomart.com for details. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun, award-winning. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit. By Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. They won't take no for an answer. Spreads on Stats coming. Conley's CPA Group brings us that. Conley's CPA providing value beyond numbers. And Textual Healing, and we have a handful. Brought to us by WVU Medicine, the exclusive healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you. All right, let's jump in. It has been an incredibly eventful series of days, really, for Mountaineer Nation. What a run, right? It started with the Big 12 tournament. West Virginia had success there, advancing to the title game, and then you get your NCAA bid, and you say, hey, guess what? It's great news. You get to host a regional, and you do, and in dramatic fashion, you win. And then, oh my goodness, what happened out west? UCLA, the one is out. You get to host a super, and you get to host a super, and in it goes, and back and forth, and before you know it, more drama. You win the super regional in convincing fashion over Cal Poly, and then that means you get to go to Omaha. And up until now, when you just said College World Series, that's probably kind of how you said it. Yeah, the College World Series, it's in Omaha. Those are probably the only two things that you knew. And then you get there, and you go, oh, this is unique.
I get it, yeah.
This is different. And again, recency bias, prisoner of the moment, but probably the best sporting event I've ever been to.
Really? And you've been to a ton.
Yeah.
And you're saying this is better than a Final Four?
Yeah, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, because Brad and I will talk about this. Because in the Final Four, you only get to play at most 2 games. And this offers you the opportunity, because of double elimination, that you can at least know that you get to stay a little bit. And the Final Four is so condensed. Really, it's Friday, Saturday, and you get your off Sunday. If you play Monday, that's great. But, like, to me, this thing, someone described this. I forget who it was. It might have been one of you two guys. Said it's a state fair with baseball.
Yeah, that's pretty
It had
good.
a state fair feel with baseball. It's just a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
And the people in Omaha couldn't be nicer. We made a lot of new friends.
Agreed.
And the city's fantastic. The event, they figured it out after hosting it since 1950. They've got the thing down to an absolute science, and it was spectacular.
It was. I can't think of, other than the loss, which we'll talk about, but we were there for, 5-6 days. Tony, I can't think of a downside. I can't think of, well, if they had done this, there wasn't one. There wasn't one. I mean, they got it down to a science of how they do it and how the community embraces it and how the police control traffic. I mean, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
A couple things that jumped out to me, and it was less about the baseball, although that's awesome. There's something about baseball that's so fun, like where you just wake up in the morning and you get to go to the ballpark. And that's, for me, this last 3-week run was like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was like more than every other day, or more often than every other day, you just woke up and, there's a game today. We get to go to a game. And so I'm a big volume guy. I love tournaments. I love basketball tournaments.
That's a t-shirt.
When you win and play. So big volume guy.
I'm a big volume guy.
Big volume guy. We've had volume baseball
Yeah.
over the last 3 weeks, and games that mattered, so you were really into it. But you guys are right on this. The way the city of Omaha reacts to this, and I said during some of our coverage out there, the number of people that would come up to you on the street and not have any hesitation about what your logo meant, but give you a "Let's Go Mountaineers," right? They jumped right in with you, welcomed you to the city, and then just the attendance at this event. All the fan bases showed out very well. There were people from every one of those schools that when their teams played, they were all over. But the just baseball fans and regular fans that attend this event, the folks from Omaha, I heard from a couple college buddies that were there and at this event that they just go every year. So the way Omaha turns out to support that, there are just not a lot of empty seats, no matter the time, no matter the opponent, no matter the game. And that is different from any other tournament or any other event I have been to where there's always sessions where there's not a lot of people there. That was not the case in Omaha.
And guys, because there are 8 teams and because there's this festival atmosphere around Charles Schwab, the stadium could be packed, but at all the stuff around the stadium, that's packed too.
Yeah, that's true.
So it wasn't like everybody went in the stadium and the place was abandoned. There was always activity.
It's a great point. And what night was it? Was it Saturday night when we were walking out of the stadium and the bars and restaurants around the stadium packed and overflowing? Then we go up a couple blocks to the area where we were at Let It Fly. That was packed, that area overflowing. Then we walked back to our Airbnb and went through Old Market. That was packed and thriving. There were like these 3 different areas of Omaha, all packed and thriving. Just a wonderful host city. I'll give that to Omaha.
Yeah, it was fantastic. All right, so on the program, what's it all mean for, I think, 3 tiers here. What's it mean for the WVU baseball program? What's it mean for the athletic department / and what's it mean for the university? I think it's got lasting effects for each of those pods, and time will tell. But just a wonderful experience, something that needs to be embraced and cherished, which I think the Mountaineers did. I think Mountaineer Nation did, because you just learned in this tournament how difficult it is to advance.
Oh.
When you think about, and I mentioned earlier, the 1 seed out before you even got to the Super Regional, the 2 seed in Georgia Tech, they went bye-bye. Last night, Georgia, one of the favorites to win the whole thing, is eliminated by Oklahoma. I was listening to the Oklahoma broadcast. Toby Rowland's their announcer, who's fantastic. He hit me with a number that made me go like, what? Do you realize SEC tournament, Oklahoma went into the SEC tournament as the 11 seed?
Yes. They were middle of the pack at best. Yeah, they had
were
a very
the
mediocre
11
year.
seed. They were the 11 seed in the SEC.
That's right.
And they're now going to play for the championship, the World's Championship, against North Carolina. So my point to all of that is, like, you just can't go like, this is our year. You don't know when your year is. And so when you get that and you have the opportunity, you have to absolutely squeeze every single ounce out of the experience, because you just simply don't know when it's going to happen again.
Agreed. Which, even though West Virginia did not get to the championship game, which West Virginia did. I think they squeezed. I think you got everything out of this team, and I think got everything out of this fans. I think you got every last little bit and more out of this team in this season.
Yeah, we'll get into the game from yesterday, but I hate the loss, but I love the way they finished.
Yeah.
Like, you could have laid down, and those guys, like, that was the perfect definition of the season and of what this program is built on. Like, it was 12-1, and you went like, goodness gracious, and they just went like, we're playing, and I don't think North Carolina went into a full, complete tightening, but I'm tell you what, they got some perspiration going there when the old boys got that thing down to 5, and it's just like, okay, here we're still coming. And I thought that was a perfect definition of this team.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's exactly how this team should have ended its season, even if it's on a loss. They have been exquisite at bouncing back and putting things in the past and moving forward and having perseverance. And the fact that it came because of an infield single, because Cooper Nicholson from Carolina, part of the problem, he went to Dowling High School in West Des Moines, so that I'm not sure they know how to field and unload quickly there. So Cooper Nicholson took his time, took about 6 extra steps, looked up. Armani Guzman says, is that right? Is that right? I'm just going to beat you out on a routine ground ball to short. And the fact that it started on beating out a routine ground ball, I thought that exemplified this team. And then you were coming. And by God, if they weren't tight, They were tight when that ball came off Ben Lumpson's bat. Because
Yes.
that on a normal day in Omaha when it's 4 billion% humidity, that thing's sitting in right field. The fact that it was so much cooler and it needed a couple extra feet, it just didn't get there. I think there were some tight folks in Carolina Blue at that moment.
All right, let's jump in. Time now for Hoppy's obvious observations. Yes,
He's
it's
got
back.
thoughts that sound brand new.
That's right.
But they're things we already knew.
Already knew it.
He's got his lip balm ready. Heaven knows. Let's make it quick before his bladder blows.
Got a bladder situation.
These obvious observations.
Before you start,
Yes,
I
sir.
do want to say after traveling with Hoppy, perhaps for the longest period that I've ever traveled with him, did not see the lip balm come out once in our entire. Do you not go
Really?
with it in the summer? Were you going?
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
were
yeah.
bombing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there. So, a couple of things. First of all, there are, and I couldn't get the exact number, there's either 300 or 304 Division I baseball teams. WVU ends up being in the Final Four. That puts the Mountaineers in the top 1% of D1 college baseball teams. Top 1%. It's estimated that throughout the season, including the playoffs, the tournaments, et cetera, that these teams will play about 9,000 games. And West Virginia was playing in the final 5 or 6 games of the season. So that's instead of thinking of the loss, think of the perspective of what that means. WVU fan support, we've gone on about that ad nauseum, but that was a national story. I mean, West Virginia was quoted, Tony, you were quoted, West Virginia was featured in a fan story in the New York Times. New York Times. By The Athletic, but what?
He gave you a double New York Times on that.
Well, I mean, that's significant. Okay.
I'll tell you something.
And I said,
Saw it in the New York Times.
I said in the commentary today, and I talked about this in the commentary today, which is posted at WVMetroNews.com. I mentioned you guys, in fact, you guys were interviewed in Omaha television. And in
One of the highlights of the trip.
One of the highlights. And we talked about the fact, even when you're down 12-1, West Virginia, Guzman beat, I mean, you could have just run to first.
Mm-hmm.
But Guzman sprinted, beat the throw. I mean, that was incredible. Just, again, summarizing how this West Virginia team has been. And I said this, you guys were teasing me, but the word that came to mind throughout the week was just joy. It was just joyous. Everybody we came in contact with was just happy.
That's a good point.
I mean,
They were.
We met hundreds of people.
Maybe thousands.
Maybe thousands, yeah. And nobody was like, I don't know.
Well, but if we could, there was none of that. You're right, Hop.
Everybody was absolutely joyous.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't often get that. So just like, just roll with that. We talked about Omaha, why they did such a great job. The city was clean. The city was safe. The city was welcoming. You go in someplace, they don't know you're from Adam, and you buy something. Hey, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Enjoy your stay. Like, that's nice. That's Midwest nice. There are, Brad, you'll get more into this. There were memorable performances, a lot of them in this. I think of Max Yell and the performance he turned in of Ian Korn. Dawson Montes's performance, I mean,
Massive.
he was just massive. Ben McDougal, I think we'll always remember to the Ben McDougal, those 2 outs he got in that first game. I mean, that was amazing. Armani Guzman just owned it. How many times was he on base?
1,000,
Like the whole tournament.
give or take.
Every time you looked up, Armani Guzman was on base.
He had himself a tourney.
But you better look because pretty soon he's on the next base. And then the next base. How many stolen bases did he?
We'll get to that.
Okay, you got that.
Yeah.
So Gavin Kelly started slowly, but then got hot.
Blistering hot.
428.
Mm-hmm.
That home run, there was no doubt about that home run. I mean, the left fielder turned and looked at it, and it bounced up. I think it hit the Missouri River. It was so far. Matt Gravelin was 4-4 against UNC in the game yesterday.
Great finish for him.
Tyrus Hall had that 2-run single in the 8th inning. I mean, there were performances, right? Not just your guns, but performances by a lot of different players that kept you in that tournament. So that stood out to me. WVU went into this tournament ranked 16th, right? Or seeded 16th. Seeded 16th. I was doing some research on this. If you make it to the semifinals like West Virginia did, And depending on what North Carolina does against Oklahoma, you should be in the season ranked 3, 4, 5.
Should be.
Right?
Should be.
And I find myself in the unusual position of rooting for North Carolina because it's a non-SEC school, and it looks better for West Virginia if North Carolina would beat Oklahoma. So I'm in on North Carolina. So those are just some obvious observations about the game, the experience, etc.
Those are all really good. Brad and I think speaking on behalf of Brad, we're just happy that one of the continuing themes that will come out of it is that you found joy.
I think a lot of people found joy.
I know, but you announced it during one of our podcasts there in Omaha that I have found joy.
It was joyous.
He was an early joy caller.
He called joy early?
Early.
Didn't you? Didn't you feel it?
Yeah, that's right. There was not a single complaint. Didn't hear a complaint all week about anything.
No.
Everybody was just happy.
In fact,
fun.
even when people had these incredible circuitous routes to get there, they were joyous because they got there.
I guarantee you guys,
Right? Like
The travel is probably
you could do a series.
Yes, because I'm not sure anyone had a smooth travel experience. It was difficult for nearly every person we talked to.
We went Wednesday.
Including us. I mean,
Yeah,
ours was the easiest. We got there 4 weeks ago, and we had a 3-hour delay getting out of Chicago when it was sunny and 90 on each end.
But even that was joyous. It was a joyous 3-hour wait in Chicago.
And how many people did we run into that had these crazy experiences, like got there just in time for the game?
Oh my gosh, there are people that get in there like literally like I'm not even putting my suitcase down. I'm just going. So
Multiple people running into the stadium. Said our guy Joe from Michigan came running in during that first game against Troy. He was sprinting along the concourse when he arrived.
That's wild. So yeah, the weather was not conducive last weekend to get folks there and West Virginia fans. I would say to me, Hoppy, the joy, the feel, the vibe that you got was similar to John Beeline's run from Big East tournament to Cleveland to Albuquerque. It felt like that. And then obviously the Big East run in 10 that got you to Buffalo and then to Syracuse and then to Indianapolis. That had that same vibe, kind of floaty little feel. Joy. Some call it joyous.
Joyous.
Thank you, Hoppy, for obvious observations.
You're welcome.
Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Jan Dills, attorneys at law. We've been telling you about clients that have had the experience with Jan Dills. This is from Allison. From the first call from a staff member at Jan Dills Attorneys at Law to discuss my case, to being called and congratulated for winning my case, the entire team was amazing. They dealt with what I refer to as my freakouts. They were always there, not just for support, but also as my cheerleaders. None of what I have achieved would have ever happened without the wonderful, intelligent, and professional people at Jan Dills. I highly recommend them to my friends, family, and anyone else. After over 6 years of struggling to get what I knew was money owed to me, Jan Dills did just that. I will be forever grateful. If you've got a case, whether it's personal injury, military benefits, veterans benefits, and Social Security claims, contact Jan Dills Attorneys at Law. They have clients in all 50 of our states. I have some obvious. Well, maybe mine aren't obvious.
Well, let's hear them. We'll tell you if they're obvious.
I have some thoughts. This entire event of what the baseball team did. What are you laughing about over there? Chuckles. I think what it leads us to now, that the baseball portion of it is over, is that this is an inflection point for WVU athletics.
Okay.
It doesn't get much better than this when it comes to being recognized on the national map. So now that perception needs to be propagated. You need to grow this now.
Oh, I know where you're going.
So you don't want this to become a one-off. Hey, they had a nice little story in the month of June and they made it to the World Series. And it was nice, and NBC did a little feature, and the New York Times did a little feature, and all of this kind of stuff. You can't let it be a one-hit wonder.
Of one sport.
Correct. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
What this all means now is, if you really want to build on it, that football needs to be very good now.
Okay.
Right? You can't have football like go 6 wins or 5 wins. Now you need to, again, on Saturdays this fall, they need to be talking about West Virginia. They need to be talking about, did you see what Rich Rodriguez is doing? Oh my gosh, did you see this or did you see that? That needs to be good. Basketball on the man's side needs to be good again. Last year you nibbled right on the NCAA tournament. You got close. You sniffed. You get a bye into the Big 12 tournament. Didn't get it done, but you won the World's Championship there in Las Vegas. Now you need to be again in the winter. They need to be talking about you. I'm not even saying women's basketball because Mark Kellogg has shown I'll be there. Mark Kellogg said, yeah, we'll be there. So all of these other sports, because why? Why? Because right now in the business marketing world, there's something called TOMO. TOMA is top of mind awareness. Businesses try to get top of mind awareness. That's why they advertise, so people think, okay, when it comes to Jan Dills, I need a lawyer. I got to go to Jan Dills. When it comes to boats, it needs to be Lou Wendell. When it comes to sports, WVU needs to be at a high level of TOMA. Why? Because we have no idea what the next generation or level is going to be when this crazy mass of college craziness blows up again, which, as Deion Sanders would say, we coming, right? We coming. And so West Virginia University needs to continue to do these types of things. I mean, folks were saying, and you probably heard it from the SEC people, like WVU acts like an SEC school. Like, do you see their rabid fans? Do you see that they're SEC-like? People are saying that. And that's a good thing to have, right? That's a good thing to have because when all of this, the musical chairs starts on the deck of the Titanic again, you want to make sure that you can sit down. And, Ren is leading the ship and you're doing all of the right things at this point, but you can't let this be a one-hit wonder. You need to just can say like, whoa, they got it going on. That's another thing. And I do say that everything is in order right now for this to happen. Also, one other thing, and I'll leave it at this. There's been a philosophical change with the new level, with the new coaches at WVU that is something to be embraced. And that is these teams that are having success, whether it be Steve Saban's or Ross or Mark Kellogg, they operate in an attack mentality and not a complaint mentality. Steve said it on multiple occasions. When crap hits the fan, we say, advantage West Virginia. That's what they say. They don't sit around and bitch about the travel of the Big 12. They don't complain about this or, oh, woe is us. They go like, what is it? Okay. In long term, that is what gets you forward. You don't sit back and wallow around as, oh, we play in a league that's far away. We have to go on a plane. And it's like, they don't put that seed in their kids. They just go like, no, is that why would that be you know what they do? They give you, oh, is that right? Is that right? Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Steve and the boys shovel off snow on the baseball field at times.
Thank you.
Like
right?
if you're going to complain about something, that would be the complaint.
Yeah, exactly. And
players don't come here if you don't want to be part of that.
See, I thought that was really good.
Yes,
Steve's
that's what I'm
opening
talking
present.
about.
It wasn't a non-complaint. It was a challenge. He flipped the thing around and put it back on. Oh, is that right? You can't handle that? Okay, fine. You're not for us. He flipped it and made it a challenge.
Correct. Exactly. So, and to me, that needs to be not only the athletic department's mentality, it needs to be the university's mentality, and, right, it's the state's mentality. Like, what is it? Okay, like, stop freaking making excuses and complaining about stuff. And just go like, yeah, we'll get that. That's what we do. We're going to go through this. And Rich has done it. Rich does a masterful job of us against the world mentality, right? That's what he builds. It's us against the world. And that needs to be continued because then you become tough, you become resilient, and you don't have soft-ass excuses of why things didn't go our way.
Yeah, it's well said.
Steve did it. He talked about it again in the press conference after last night's game, and I thought this was interesting, and this is a semi-complaint by me. I'm not sure why the NCAA can't get it together that you got together and put a rule in that the basketball transfer portal should not open until the season ended. Very logical, intelligent move by all of the schools to say, yeah, that's kind of weird. But you didn't do it for baseball. So the very next sport that comes along, the portal is open while the games are going along. But Steve said last night's press conference, he said, would I have rather not been on a Zoom call the night after our first win in the College World Series while preparing for another win about transfer portal? Yeah, I'd prefer not to. But then it was great. To your point, he spun it and said, but a pretty good backdrop on that Zoom call is to be sitting at the College World Series saying, would you like to be a part of this? So he did flip it around, but just a little side note, non-understanding of why you do this for one sport, but it doesn't carry to other. Why can't the portal just open when your season ends? Why is that hard, Hop?
Because it would make too much sense. But you did make a good point that Coach Sabins could say, I'd like to spend some more time with you, but we're playing in the World Series tomorrow.
Yeah. Right.
And
so to your point, he took one that should be a complaint and spun it right back into advantage West Virginia.
Tony, I think you make an excellent point there, and that is, what is look, there are two major things you want to be in this environment, college sports. One is you want to be elite, right? And by elite, I mean there's a few schools. Now in baseball, you're elite. It's not like, oh, you're Cinderella. No, you're elite. You've established that. Everybody else, you want to be relevant nationally. You know, in football, you need to get there. You're not relevant now. You need to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and pieces are all in place to do it. But I just think now is a moment where you can put another flag down and say, this is who we're going to be. This is who we are. This is who we say we are. Now, let's live it every single day.
I wrote, from a cultural perspective, I wrote in a commentary today. I mean, there was a lot of cutaways of guys and gals with coonskin caps with, like, raccoon faces on the front. And there was a time when
see a raccoon.
There's a time, I think, that some folks would cringe at that, and I look at that and I say now that's who we are. We are the people along the country roads, so we embrace that. That's our identity. We're not going to apologize for that. That's our identity, and it's an identity that, when it comes to sports like baseball, has produced results.
Well, yeah, you're spot on, and Ren did that from day one. Like, when Ren got here, like, one of the first things he told me is, like, let's not pretend.
Be who we are.
Yeah, let's not pretend we're somebody else. So, like, when he gets the opportunity, he presses the red button and plays Sweet Caroline.
Yeah,
he goes,
that's who we are.
Come on, man, that's who we are. Let's face it, that's who we are. Like, I'm not going to pretend. We are who we are, and that's who we are. Put a doggone flag down.
There's a comfort with that. You know, we're not like Boston College.
Right.
Okay? Like,
So stop pretending.
They still around?
Well,
they were playing sports. Hey, one last thing on that. This was kind of nice as well. Saw some social media traffic over the last day or so from some non-West Virginians that were asking for ESPN to stop playing Country Roads so much. Times have changed.
Yes.
Oh, people, you're sick. Was that right? You're sick of Country Roads? Great. Hit it again. Play it again. So there was so much over the last 3 weeks. That was great. Others complaining that Country Roads was getting too much airtime.
I like it.
Yeah.
Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans, family-owned for 4 decades. You go in there, you can talk to Lou. Lou's still there. I mean, Lou ain't playing games. Lou is there. Mike, his son, is there. Fantastic people. And now is obviously prime boating season. And whether it's a pontoon, which they're the number one pontoon boat dealer in the state of West Virginia, or the only Honda Marine Premium dealership, whether it's a pontoon, whether it's conventional craft, they've got it. Sales, service, and supplies. Visit Lou Wendell Marine Sales. They're located in St. Albans if you'd like to go to the bricks and mortar location, or they created this thing called the internet.
What?
And you can go there and type in the words LouWendellMarineSales.com, LouWendellMarineSales.com, and you can check out all of their stuff. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. And we're going to do a little spreads and go do some numbers?
Sure, I'll give you a couple numbers.
What do you say we do some numbers, Hoppy? Would you like to do some numbers,
I would love
Hoppy?
to do some numbers.
Let's do some numbers.
So I checked the numbers.
You check the numbers.
We'll just go right to the numbers. Here comes the heater.
Yeah. Let's jump into the Spreads on Stats brought to us by the Conley CPA Group. They provide value beyond the numbers. Think of them as your guide in the business world. They walk side by side with you, give you the information you need so that it's the most efficient decision that you could make when it comes to your taxes and everything else in the business world, they can also outsource your CFO duties and your accounting. It would be nice to outsource your accounting.
How about our business expenses on this trip? Can they handle that?
Can we outsource those?
We spend a lot of money. we spent a lot of money, but you know what? It was absolutely worth it. But we feel
Budget buster.
We you know what though, man? Like everyone there spent a lot of money. I mean, Mountaineer fans to get there.
yeah.
But you know what? You do it and you eat it. Yeah, we were not corporately sponsored on this
We were
trip.
bootstrapping that thing.
We three guys did. Yeah, we three guys.
I like attached myself to homeless and had him pay for everything out of three guys.
Yeah, Homeless Dave had the three guys credit card, and stroke of genius on the part of Homeless Dave. With all due respect to hotels, we went Airbnb. First time I'd ever done that.
Same.
Is that right?
Yeah, same with me.
Never
That was a
had
great
never
call.
Airbnb.
Never done that before?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Had your own place.
I did walk away on the last night with dinner because I wasn't sure how much that card could hold, so I didn't want to be party to that. We were pushing that card.
That was the only.
Talk about great performances. Dawson Montesa pushed in a couple games. So did our credit card on this trip.
That last meal wasn't good.
It was okay.
No.
All right, let's go. Do we doing numbers?
Go.
Wasn't good.
It was
I'll start this.
Disappointing. You go with disappointing?
I would.
All right, spreads on stats. Go ahead.
I'll start with this. You don't have, Hoppy, unbelievable historic seasons without historic individual performances.
Correct.
You've heard me say many times, I think baseball is the most individualistic team sport there is.
Right.
At the end of the day, when Gavin Kelly's up to bat, ain't nobody coming to help. Gavin Kelly's got to handle his business, right? Boy, did he handle his business. As you mentioned earlier, he finishes 6 of 11 in his final 2 games with those couple home runs, and that one yesterday against Glauber. You talk about big boy on big boy. Those are probably 2 guys we see in the major leagues coming up at some point, and it goes 3-2. And Gavin sat at this desk in this exact seat and told us the difference in him this year versus last season. Why he hit 100 points higher this year was because he wasn't worried about striking out with 2 strikes. And I thought that a lot during this run from Gavin, the number of 2-strike hits that he had as he sat here and changed that mentality to, I'm not worried about striking out. I'm going to go up and punish you with 2 strikes. And he got that bat through the zone and crushed that ball. So I was glad not only just that he finished with 2 good performances, but as you talk about setting up for some added confidence as you head into next season, what a stage that guy's going to have as we head into next year. Already proclaimed by Baseball America as the #1 draft prospect for 2027. The hype around him next season is going to be insane and well-deserved. What an unbelievable player. Named, we have not talked about this. Gavin was named an All-American at 2 different positions.
Just think about it.
A first-team All-American at 2 different positions, catcher and second base. Think about that for a second, how hard that is to do.
It's bizarre.
2 different positions,
So like
and one of them's catcher.
Analogous if you were in football as a wide receiver and as a D-back.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just simply amazing for Gavin. So he finishes the year with 19 home runs. That ties Jed from 2010 and Mark Landers 94 for the most in a single season, which is incredible. More incredible, when he sat here with us, he was at 5. That was in mid-May, guys.
Oh, yeah.
That was in mid-May. Yeah. The power surge he put on from that point to the end of the season in a month was unbelievable to finish with 19.
You remember when we talked with Jed when West Virginia practiced on that field in Omaha for the very first time? So it was the day before the game.
Wednesday.
No,
Thursday.
Yeah. Friday.
Thursday.
So Jed Jerko has seen a player or 2 in his career. He's seen the greatest of the greats as a major leaguer. And he told us, he said, I'm just telling you guys, he says, he has it. He's got a mentality that he's going to play in the bigs for a long time. And you can see it when he goes to the plate. It's just like he's just got a locked-in mentality, right? And what is that from? That's the residue of all of the preparation that he puts in. So when he goes into the box, it's just like
supreme confidence.
Exactly.
And as we often say, you can't fake confidence. You have to have results in order to get it. And he's got the results now, right? He's come through time and time again. As the kids often say, he's got aura. Like when you just look at that guy, you could know nothing about him. when he walks to the plate or behind the dish, like he got some swag to him.
Did you see at the very end of the players' portion of the press conference yesterday?
It was awesome.
Any further questions for anyone? No one has any further questions. And
The moderator was thanking everybody.
It was like, thank you very much. Any other further questions? Okay, guys, thank you very much for being with us. Gavin, excuse me, I've got one other thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I just want to thank everyone associated with our program, our staff, our assistants. They got 99 managers, student managers.
He went behind the scenes.
He went behind the scenes.
He said that. He said everybody behind the scenes that makes this thing go.
Yeah, so he took that time to say thank you.
That's an awareness.
And so he gets it, and obviously he will be the focal.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be the face of the program getting ready for next. You going to the leadoff banquet next season, Hop? In January?
If invited,
you think
I
Hoppy
would
will
love
go? You think
Should.
Now he'll be front table this year with his feet up.
Yeah, I hope it's not when we're on the road for basketball.
I know. I'd like to
go to.
Be nice if it was a home basketball game that day.
One last thing on Gavin, and if I've done my math right, it doesn't look like the stats are quite updated yet, but if I've done my math right, given his performance with a home run and a triple against North Carolina on Wednesday, I think he just passed Jed and JJ for most total bases in a single season.
Oh, my.
That's not bad. If you passed Jed and JJ and you tied Jed in another category, you probably had a pretty good season. So congratulations to Gavin specifically. Was wonderful on our program and thankful for all the time he gave us, not only that day, but throughout the year in our conversations. Another record-breaking performance. Hoppy, you mentioned Armani Guzman the other day. Single-season record for stolen bases with 42. He passes the great Victor Scott, who talked to earlier this year when he was in Pittsburgh, right? He's a major leaguer. And Guzman's interesting, guys. You talk about the build for next season. This is a guy that has a decision to make. He's certainly got an opportunity to enter professional baseball and start his climb to the major leagues. His star has never been brighter. You can't teach speed, as they say. And so I think he's going to have a tough decision of whether to enter Major League Baseball or certainly has the opportunity to come back here. And what a boost to this program if he chooses to return.
And Brad, you made the point a number of times is that he is a threat, not just at the plate, but when he gets on base where everybody has to pay attention to him.
Yeah.
And, a lot of players get on base, and a couple of the teams West Virginia played just weren't base-stealing teams. So a guy's on first, okay, you pay attention to him. I mean, Guzman, that was action. That was, you had to keep an eye on him. And then stealing home for the first time that a player had stolen home in a World Series game since, was it 2000?
2016.
That will be an everlasting memory.
And
Not
on a
only did
pass
you
ball.
do it, because you just don't do it. People don't do it. West Virginia does. That's kind of complex. To do it in the first inning of game one, like game one, you've just arrived in Omaha and said, was I ever going to steal home on you? Yeah, it was awesome. So Armani, tremendous. And if that's the last we see of him in a West Virginia uniform, tip of the cap. Just a wonderful season for him. Couple other quick ones that we know. Chanson Cole, all season long, was about as good as you could get and serving as your 1 or 1A, whichever you want to put him as a starter. Got 10 wins on the season. There were only 7 guys in West Virginia history that have had more wins in a season than Chanson Cole did. You weren't playing in Omaha without the performance that young man gave you. By the way, one of the famed D2 guys that West Virginia has found and nurtured and come here and performed on the biggest stage. Max Yale. What a season he had. Big 12 pitcher of the year, as we know. He had 9 wins on the season. So he had one starter with 10, one with 9. So only about 10 players with more wins in their career or in their single season than Max did. He was tremendous the other night. It's unfortunate you couldn't get him home in that first game against North Carolina because he gave you a pitching performance that was worthy of a win. Ian Korn, another Division II guy. Awesome season, gave you those 6 innings in game one that should always be remembered. That helped get you the win there in game one. Mention Dawson Montesa.
Wow.
And just electric stuff for that guy. He came in with electric stuff, throwing 97, 98. And for the season to be on the line, literally on the line, lose and go home 2 different times against Wake and against Troy, a team sitting in the College World Series, and he shoves against both of those teams and just says, get on my back, I got you, I'm carrying you to wins, and did both times. A lot of credit to Dawson Montesa.
And opportunities for him to bag out during that because it was not an everyday role for him. He changed. His position in the order of West Virginia pitchers changed during the course of the season. And it could have been very easy for him. He was the Friday night starter.
Yes.
Could have been very easy for him to say, woe is me, but he just kept doing his work. And when he absolutely had to shine, that was a wow.
Steve talked about that in a couple different press conferences and actually referred to his pitchers, not as pitchers, but just out-getters. They weren't defined by we're the Friday night starter, we're the closer, we're the long reliever. They were defined as guys, when called upon, they go in and get outs. And I thought Dawson exemplified that. You're right, Tony. No longer the Friday night starter. What do you need me to do? You need me to pitch Sunday? Okay, fine. I'll be the starter there. You need me to come in relief as he did in the regional and close that thing down after a great start? Fine, I'll do that. You need him when you absolutely have him at the College World Series. He's got to get you at least 5 innings. He does. He goes 5 1/3 and was outstanding. So another one of those D2 guys that was awesome.
Yeah.
Just awesome. So credit to him. We'll always remember the name Dawson Montessa. One last number, and it relates to our friend Fine Looking Phil over at Daniels. You're wearing one of the nice new shirts.
I was going to bring him up. I've got about 4 texts on the text line. I didn't even use them. People keep asking, like, where'd you get this shirt? Where'd you get that shirt? Well, number one, I don't remember what shirts I was wearing because we changed a lot of clothes.
There's just one answer.
My short answer is when I wear, like, nice stuff, like with a collar and that stuff, it's from Fine Looking Phil. So that's your best place to it. If I'm wearing a T-shirt, or something, then it's, and then the hat. People keep asking about the hat, the white hat with the old.
Not for retail yet.
It's team issue.
That'll come. It's not for retail yet. But Daniels. So the final number of today in Spreads on Stats today, and I know this. I don't know when you're going to listen to this, but today is Thursday, June 18. Thursday, June 18, Hop. So if you're listening to this on Thursday, June 18th, and you have the ability, get over to Daniels. Anything you purchase today.
Huh? Well,
by the way,
you're doing a promotion?
There's a ton of new West Virginia stuff out there. So if you want to celebrate this, get ready for football, get over there. 15% of sales today go back to the Championship Resource Fund with Gold Blue Enterprises. Today only, 15%.
What day are you saying? Friday?
Thursday, June 18th. Today, if you're listening. Thursday, June 18th. If you're listening.
You can do that online?
I think you can do it online too. If not, you probably just did because we said it. Go on and buy anything today from Daniels. 15% of that, all his West Virginia gear, goes to the Championship Resource Fund to help find the next Dawson Montessa, Chanson Cole, Gavin Kelly, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Outstanding.
Did I say that's June 18th, Thursday, June 18th?
Yeah. Phil was there. Phil went to a game.
Phil did.
Yeah, I heard
Made
that.
it.
He brought Bunny.
He's a big baseball guy.
Played, right?
Yeah, big baseball guy.
Yeah, played. 3 guys before the game brought to us by the good folks at GoMart. How about this deal? During GoMart's, I got to turn my headphones on. Hang on. During GoMart's Snackadelic summer promotion, called a Snackadelic summer promotion, Hoppy.
Mm-hmm.
Collect all 7 tokens and earn 30 cents off every gallon of gas. Up to 30 gallons. I mean, you can't bring an airplane in. Participants must be registered reward members, so get the app. Qualifying items, Utz chips, single serve, you get 200 bonies, 200 bony points. Monster 24-ounce drink, 350 bonus points. Jack Links, 600 bonus points. Nerd gummy clusters, 8-ounce bag, just line them up, 450. It's just a bunch of stuff. Get the snack more, save 30 cents off a gallon, download the app, and you will be a world champion.
You know what GoMart did there? They Charlie from Midlothian proofed the promotion.
What does that mean?
Remember, Charlie used to go to that big grocery store chain there and take about 47 different canisters and fill up the gas.
And then go sell it at a marked
so
up
GoMart
price.
said, Charlie, is that right? We're going to proof this. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Only 30 gallons.
Yeah, Charlie.
Leave some for others is what they're doing.
Yeah, Charlie's a good guy. Charlie's one of the good ones. There's no question. Charlie's one of the good ones. No question about that. 3 guys also brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. Tudor's Biscuit World right now, the 555 combo. Let's face it, man. Gas prices, they're up. Everything's up, right? Like peanut M&Ms now cost $11 a bag. Like everything is up. But for $5.55, the combo, you can get the choice of 5 of the most popular biscuit sandwiches, golden hash browns, choice of a drink, coffee, tea, soft drink. You get 5 different biscuits that you can order from. Among the 5, you can pick the Mary B, the Dottie, the Peppy, the shaved ham, the Ron, whatever it needs. So for $5.55, that's $5.55. You be out, and it's a great, great thing. Check it out at Tudor's Biscuit World. Can I do one other thing before we do textual healing?
Yeah.
So have you guys ever heard of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library?
Sure.
Yes.
So Dolly Parton Imagination Library started by Dolly Parton, and it's involved in here in West Virginia, at least in Morgantown, Monongalia, Preston County, United Way does it. And what it is Dolly Parton gives children a free book every month, 12 months a year, from birth to 5 years old. How about that?
That is great. That's fantastic.
So my wife is involved in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library in Monongalia, Preston counties, and what they do is they raise the dollars so that the books can be free. And we've got our event next week. It's their big fundraiser every week. But the auction for that event goes live starting tomorrow, June 19th. And one of the items, Hoppy,
Yes.
is a chance to attend a live recording of Three Guys Before the Game.
Oh.
So if you would like to do that, come in and hang out with us when we tape. The winning bidder comes in. We'll get your picture made with us. Just basically, we'll show the value. They put the value down. Like I saw
What is it?
It was a ridiculously low number. I think they started at like 200. This is a thing that has done in excess of a couple $1,000s in the past. So they have that. They also have 2 tickets to a Steelers-Broncos game in November. They also have a Gucci bag that's valued at $600. This whole thing's about purses, this dinner that they do.
Okay.
It's a purse thing. People buy purses. Anyway, so on Three Guys Social this weekend, you'll see, I'll have Dave put the link out there so that you can get a look at the items, and then you can bid on this.
Will they attend our business meeting prior to our taping?
Probably. Yeah, the heavy business meeting. Before I do Textual Healing, one other thing. Since we've gotten together, the Brendan Sorsby situation has its new level of resumption to this moment. But did you see the commissioner of the Big 12 Conference issued a statement, Brad?
Mm-hmm.
It was quite short, 3 sentences.
Read it, please.
From the commissioner. It's been a challenging week for both our conference and the college athletics landscape. The Big 12 looks forward to moving ahead as 16 strong. We wish Brendan Sorsby success in his future endeavors.
2 things. That says nothing, number one. Second thing is nothing is resolved. Okay?
That's not true. He's not going to play for Texas Tech. No, that's resolved.
Okay, but that doesn't resolve the bigger issue. Okay, he's going to go in the supplemental draft. But the issue remains, are there any rules, or can you enforce any of the rules, in this case specifically about gambling? Because it doesn't address that.
He's right, doesn't address that.
It's just like, oh, I'm glad. Here's the reaction. See this? Whew, glad that went away. I mean, but it does.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's a good point. Glad that went away. From a full Big 12 PR perspective, that would have been a disaster and a cloud over every school and every game all season, right? That would have been the talking point. That's a good point. Like the sigh of relief that's not hanging over. That's a good point.
It's like, Brad, it rained this morning in Morgantown. If it rained and you had a leak in your roof and it stopped raining and stopped leaking, whew, that's over. I mean, it doesn't change anything.
Well, it's kind of, here's the deal. It's kind of like watching a car accident. This thing isn't over in the sense now, what is Texas Tech's reaction and
Also
how do they roll with Cody Campbell going forward? Does Cody Campbell now put the big donor? The big donor. Does he put the hit out on Brett Yormark? He will try, but there might be 15 others who go like, no, not doing anything, Brett Yormark. But that will be the attempt. So I find it to be dramatic, fun theater to watch. I really do. All right, time for Textual Healing. You guys ready for the song? Got some good Textual Healings in here, by the way. It's going to be good.
We missed the music when we were in. Did we have when we were out there? Oh, we didn't have Textual Healing, did we?
We did. I think we did it without music.
It all runs together.
Yeah, it's kind of 3 guys before the game. And Textual Healing is brought to us by the folks that heal. WVU Medicine, the exclusive healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you. WVU Medicine's Reconstructive Urology program offers expert, personalized care for complex conditions, from trauma and strictures to erectile dysfunction and incontinence. Nationally recognized specialist using advanced techniques including robotic surgery and prosthetic implants to help you reach your health goals. Schedule a consultation today. You can go old school phone 855-WVU-CARE or just visit wvumedicine.org/urology. wvu.org/urology. All right, so let me give a shout out. We gave a bunch of shout outs while we were there in Omaha to the folks at Let It Fly Sports Bar.
Val and company.
Val and Malia, the manager. We walked in there and were just absolutely breathtaking by the facilities that they had.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have this? They had a studio which was as good as ours.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways it was better. In some ways it was better because it was tighter. But anyway, so 1,000 thank yous to those folks. That was where all the WVU people met, and they were just great. This was interesting. A texter says, I'm not sure if anyone else caught this, but during the interview with our current Mountaineer, Reese Allen out of Bridgeport, it was done by ESPN reporter Jake DeLongchamps. He shared that his grandfather was the 1962 Mountaineer mascot. The reporter, his grandfather was the Mountaineer mascot in 62. Amazing.
Of course he was.
Hey, fellas, Dougie Fresh from Merle's Inlet there in Myrtle Beach. Great to see you in Omaha. Brad, you and I can take full credit for the win and the positive mojo in the victory over Troy by not leaving our spot on the concourse during the comeback. So is that what you were doing?
He's right.
You locked in and said, I'm not leaving.
Well, it wasn't going well. Got up from my seat, Hoppy,
right.
went back to the concourse. Shortly thereafter, joined by Dougie Fresh, and we enjoyed the Troy game, the rest of the Troy game from the concourse.
You got up from the seat,
yeah,
and then the rally started, and he never came back, and I knew exactly what he was doing. He got superstitious and I'm staying here.
Brad's a baseball guy, and he's so superstitious that we're at Let It Fly, and someone took off with his lucky hat, and he almost had a meltdown.
Hey, if you stole Brad's gold hat during that first Mountaineer reception before a game, bad on you.
Please return, no questions, and actually we'll ask a lot of questions if you return it. But
Texter, hello, three guys. I wanted to take a moment to share my appreciation for this year's baseball team. My father, my son, and I made the trip to Omaha to see the North Carolina game Sunday. Monday morning, we're visiting the tents around the stadium. We saw a few players from the team. My 9-year-old son asked if I would ask them to get a picture. I was a bit hesitant since this was the morning after a tough loss, but I approached them. They were kind enough to take the pic, which made my son's day. I couldn't be more grateful for the experience this team has allowed my family. Going to the College World Series was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We'll never forget. Thank you, WVU Baseball. Thank you, three guys, for providing great coverage. Sincerely, John, WVU class of 04 and 011. There you go. So there's his little guy.
Armani and Gavin.
There you go.
Those guys were out and about.
They were out and about, and those are just one of the gazillion tents that they have there. I never knew how absolutely addicted Brad is to ball caps. He
got one stolen, so I had to replace it.
He went in and he went heavy.
He went heavy swag. You went heavy swag purchase.
Well, of my many things, one of my things, I love gear from events.
Okay.
I just love. That's a thing. I gotta go get gear.
Well, you're not alone because there's a lot of people.
A lot of people. When my daughter was little and participating in karate, I mean, we'd go up to Weir and be at an event. I'm like, right, I'm a T-shirt we got. Let's get a T-shirt for T-shirt. Let's get a T-shirt. I just love gear.
Yeah.
Love gear at events.
And there was a lot of gear.
There's a lot, yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Anything and everything.
Yeah.
Texter, whatever you do, please do not let Tony comment on shorter daylight hours after June 1st. Actually, it's after June 21st.
Already done. It's already happened many times, not just publicly, because you were amazed that Omaha had the light even a little bit longer. That Midwest, you get it a little bit. I mean, we were in the pushing 9:30.
We were pushing 9:30, and it was light. Yeah. Texter, this was a good one. Hey, guys, quick story on WVU's new baseball commit, Jack Cannon, who just committed a couple of days ago. He's currently playing for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers in the MLB Draft League, and he's staying with a host family right around the corner from our house. There's a group of kids that play wiffle ball right across the street from the host family. Jack has come out and played with the kids ages 8 through 10 in the yard multiple times, and he's been absolutely incredible with them. I hope his time at West Virginia will be special, as he has made a huge impact on these kids here. Let's go Mountaineers, John and Cortland, Ohio. So Jack Cannon just committed to WVU, one of the highest profile portal guys out there, played at Lemoyne College in Syracuse. He was a Lemoyne Dolphin, and now he'll be a West Virginia Mountaineer after he finishes his summer tenure with the Valley Scrappers in Mahoning Valley.
Can run and hit. He'll be a perfect addition. It sounds like personality-wise, he'll fit right in with this group, too.
Just out there throwing wiffle ball curves to the 8-year-olds.
Dear Scopes and Center, first-time texter, long-time listener, responsible for consumption data emanating from Kentucky, Ohio twice, Texas, Alaska, Minnesota, and Wisconsin since episode 1. The experience in Omaha was for the ages. I've had the fortunate opportunity to travel to and attend bowl games and other notable events during the most recent golden era of WVU sports. Maybe it's the result of being the first, but the College World Series hosted by this wonderful city, fans and residents of Omaha, was special. My young son, Reese, and I began watching West Virginia baseball semi-regularly last year, semi-fervently this year. The regionals and the supers led to many moments of joy, a tip of the cap to Hoppy's new mantra. As soon as Ben McDougal threw the final strike to send the team to Omaha, I booked an Airbnb in the Old Market District and purchased tickets to the series. The fellowship with other Mountaineers who made the trek to Omaha was worth the trip itself. My son and I had a morning routine in Omaha. Grab a Kool-Aid and coffee and head out to the brick streets of the Old Market District, grab some breakfast, head to the stadium. We happened to experience convergences with none other than the three guys, none of which time were they together. We were introduced to homeless Dave and Dan Lohman. This process seemed to repeat with Tony and Brad, and separately Hoppy several times over the weekend. Each of you could not have been more relatable, whether it be Tony drilling down to what town in Marion County I was from, to my son Brad chatting West Des Moines, where we stayed overnight on the way down while listening to you guys. We couldn't be more proud of the team, excited about the future of the program. Let's go, Reese's dad, also known as Josh. And there you go. There is Brad.
That's Reese.
With the little guy.
That was it. Let It Fly. We had a great time. Saw Josh and Reese more than I saw you two. They were everywhere, which now makes sense that they were staying right in the Old Market and they were walking up and down, which is close to where we were staying. So they were wonderful, and it was fun to see those guys.
Texter, morning fellas, just a layman chef from the first ward here. With all the hoopla around the Renfredo, hoopla as in universally accepted aside from Scopes, the moral compass of Italian cuisine, I'd like to get the sauce sheriff's take on this beauty, a classic cutlet with a side of homemade Alfredo. So he goes...
Called him sauce sheriff. Just called Tony Shaw sauce.
So there you go. There's a bifurcation of the recipe. He's got a classic parm with marinara, and then he's got the Alfredo on the side.
I will say our friends over at Cafe Oliverio, Ray Lynn, Shy Lynn, Patrick, all of them, everybody over there, they will do that for you too.
They will.
Had somebody the other night when I went full Renfredo, of course, as I do. They weren't sure they wanted to come all the way in the Renfredo waters, so they mixed it. Now, Cafe Oliverio actually mixed it up so it came out pinkish.
Oh, like a vodka sauce almost.
Yeah, like a vodka sauce almost.
He ends his comments
Sauce sheriff.
He also comments, also has me thinking, what other hot takes do you guys have regarding food? Pineapple on pizza? Question mark. Beans and chili?
No.
Question mark.
And on both.
Crazy how worked up some people get over other people's plates. I'm pretty open-minded myself.
Did I write this? Did I send this in?
I think it is from you.
Well said. Don't get worked up over other people's plates.
If that's what you enjoy.
Eat what you want.
Yeah. That's what you enjoy.
Thank you, Chef from the first ward. This other guy said 50% mix of red sauce and the Alfredo is the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I tell you this, we were in the Midwest where you would expect meat. By the way, Omaha in the 1950s surpassed Chicago for the largest stockyards in America. So you would expect great beef, and we had a wonderful steak. I think you had a steak.
Yeah.
Tony had lamb. I mean, that one night, whatever night that was, that was really good.
Yeah, but the surprise of the trip, and they may have passed the stockyards in Chicago as the number one beef producer, but the shock was in beating every coastal town in this country, apparently Omaha the best seafood place in the entire world.
Yes.
I did have good salmon there.
It was. I know you did.
That to me was the upset of the week. All the seafood talk.
You just continued to make fun of their seafood designation. New York Times has one of their places there is one of the best sushi restaurants in the United States.
Well, I don't know
why
if New York Times does or not. I'm just saying 15 different people from Omaha told us you got to get seafood. That is not what I expected.
And it was wonderful, right?
The salmon I had was very good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
This next person is up.
Country, though.
I want you to listen to this one.
Okay.
How do college umpires not know a rule? Legally, caught third strike has to hit mitt or hand first. The call on Gavin went bat to chest protector to leg. It did not touch the catcher's mitt. It's the little things. Get it right. Did you know that?
I did not.
I didn't know that either.
It's pretty in the weeds for me.
This person seems to be pretty knows that. Texter, I'm loving all the Omaha content. Sorry to have missed you in person.
There's the one person we missed.
Do you know where I can buy jerseys and hats like they wore in the first game against Troy, the white ones with the old school script, West Virginia? I asked my Mac contact. He didn't know. I didn't see anything on Shop WVU. You're closed, boy.
Just not that stuff's not in retail in those particular forms. I would think that hat will be out here pretty soon. There's some other places that have items with that throwback logo on it, but not necessarily that hat that everybody's referring to, which is like cream colored with navy, not the one the team wears,
right?
But it's the unstructured one.
Yeah,
similar to my gold one that got taken.
Boy, you're never gonna get over that,
well,
are you?
The fact that West Virginia won the game and I didn't have it, that's
okay.
Really, now I'm just annoyed. Now I'm just annoyed somebody took my hat. I would have been beside myself had West Virginia lost that game and I didn't have the hat.
He was Tony.
I truly will. Like I thought I hit it pretty well from you guys. You have no idea how my insides were going heading.
Oh
into
my
that
gosh!
game.
Yes, I do because we saw you, Tony. We were kind of.
You were very upset.
Oh my gosh!
Let me ask you.
I'm still telling you, you have no idea how upset I was.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Was your stress level at that point higher or lower than when you thought you lost your license the night before we left?
Well, it was close. It was close.
Yeah, it was tight.
It was close.
This gentleman is very upset.
Okay.
Hey, three guys, isn't this fun? Once again, I claim, divert the football money to men's basketball, women's basketball, and baseball, and we can enjoy championship events on a yearly or regular basis. Football is a lost cause and has been forever. Signed JD from the Southern Coalfields, a lifelong Mountaineer fan who is tired of swimming against the effed up financial stream of college sports that is nothing more than a pissing contest between mega donors who can't wait to drain their bank accounts. So he's very upset. JD, I would say this to you over this microphone, and I would say it face to face. That is not the route to go. If you were to take money from football is, think of it as a body. Football is the heart. If you lessen the flow to the heart, everything else would suffer. You would not have the ability to fund other sports if you took money away from football. And while that may sound counterintuitive to you, the money that is pushed toward football from donors and everything else to fund for seats and everything else, that funds the entire body. And if you were to do that, what would happen over a period of time is that the body would die. Plain and simple.
You would not be in a Power 4 conference.
No, you would wither. Toward the end here, question from Brad in Saberton. Borrowing your havoc statistic from football, what would a havoc rating be for Armani Guzman on the bases?
Oh, good question.
Great question.
Right up
really
there.
high.
So a havoc rate, let's say the havoc rate is, the highest is 10.
13.
He is
Just causes
dynamic.
chaos. Yeah, and so what we mean by that, not only just that you have to keep watching him, but this goes back in like the 80s in Major League Baseball, great base stealers. It gives the guy behind him, so Gavin in this case, a lot of the postseason, better pitches to hit because you can't screw around as much, right?
Right.
You can't throw as many off-speed pitches because it's even easier to steal. So theoretically, you get more pitches to hit.
And the great thing about baseball, and then is Guzman gets on first, Gavin Kelly's up, and the pitcher everybody starts to get a little tight, right? And the pitcher's looking at Guzman, and Guzman's like dancing around. I mean, there's
the second baseman. Then once he steals second baseman, shortstop have to come over and
there's
it's awesome.
Unlike other sports, there's no play going on, but there's drama.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to watch. You're watching the pitcher. You're watching Guzman. You're watching the second baseman. You're watching. I mean, it's fun.
It is fun.
It is fun.
Well, nothing will ever take away the steal of home because we were sitting on the third base line, and we're watching it, and he's like parallel to us. He's halfway down, and you
could see it coming.
You could see it almost like a car accident. Like, what are you doing? And then obviously, it became a national story.
And to your point, when the third baseman, again, I said this when it happened.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we talked about this. The third baseman didn't stay up. In fact, he went back, and I said to Dave, was sitting next to me, I said, I think he's stealing home here. That third baseman went back, and Guzman came off even further, and then took off. You could see it.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That
was awesome. That was a highlight.
Last couple, Kevin and Canton, Ohio. Best team in 135 years of WVU baseball, and we got to enjoy them. What a treat. Hats off to every player, coach, and the support staff. Last one. Actually, last two. Thank you, Mountaineer Baseball, for a great run. And thank you, three guys, for great coverage, as always. Jeff from Sandyville. We enjoyed covering that.
Yeah, we did.
It was
highlight for us. That was a career highlight.
Yeah, it was. It was really the first time that we've done one-offs, like we go to a place and do a one show, but this is the first time we ever traveled for a long period of time together. And I would like to be the first to say that that'll never happen again. No, we did come to the conclusion, and it was difficult for Hoppy to accept. We had this dinner the last night we were there. It was me and Brad and Homeless Dave. And by a 3-0 vote, Hoppy has been deemed to be peculiar. Peculiar. Oh, I can't even say it. You're peculiar. I can't say peculiar. Say it.
Peculiar.
Yeah, peculiar. You are.
You can't say
it. And he refuted it, and it was 3-0.
No.
Then he said, my wife says the same thing. I mean, the votes are in.
Wait a minute, your wife said it?
Your wife says it.
Oh, yeah, well.
It's 4-0, dude.
Tell him we all have our things.
We all do.
Yeah.
That is the one thing we came away from in this trip. We all have our things.
Can I say one thing about that?
Yeah.
And I told you this on the phone yesterday. Peculiar. Is that I had, I'm at the latter stages of my career. I had a historically wonderful time on two levels. One was covering an amazing event. Mm-hmm. Not only what WVU was doing, Brad, but just the event.
Right. Agree.
Had an amazing time covering that, and I enjoyed the fellowship. It was a win-win for me.
Agree.
It was just fun as heck.
Hey, one last shout-out.
Peculiar.
We got to shout out our guy, Brody Kresser, friend of this program. I walk away from this being absolutely giddy for him.
Yeah,
again, we'll tell the story. And I can't believe he did this, but he always said, just being 4 hours away from that ballpark and knowing what a great event it is, said he would not go to one until he played in it, which is just an unbelievable statement from a kid from small town Iowa to think that was possible. And lo and behold, he finishes his career, a guy that helped set the foundation of this program on this latest run. Thrilled that Brody got to play on that field, talked to his parents before the Troy game, before the first pitch. They were overjoyed. He had something ended like 12 former teammates from the DMAC and other and Jessup that were there watching him. So really happy for a friend of this program, Brody Kresser.
And guys, absolutely. And there was something about the stadium, the grass field, the dirt infield, and the organists, which were fantastic.
Did you see my note on that?
Yeah,
that guy's from Wrigley
Cubs.
Field.
But I thought they used two different ones. Was just
one of the dudes was from Wrigley Field.
I mean, it was the organist just add to it and to the vibe, right? Just felt like this is
like baseball.
This is what baseball should be.
That's the real deal, yeah. Last text. Great season for the baseball team, one of the final four teams standing. Congrats to the players, coaches, everyone involved with the program. You all made us proud, and it just makes me ready to see what we can do next year. Signed by Jeff and Scott Depot. And we got to go because they use this studio for a flea market, and they got to set up the tables. But Brad and I, memories. We were getting coffee Saturday morning, and this dude walks in. And we had a 90-minute conversation with this guy from Carolina that was one of the most remarkable conversations in my life.
Wow, and you talk to everybody.
I talked to everybody
You
twice,
do.
right?
Yeah.
This guy blew our minds. Retired American Airlines captain, 33 years flying internationally. But besides doing that, knew everything about anyone and everything and could
In every place.
Every place. He's telling me things about my hometown that I had no clue.
Hoppy, to the point, the greatest comment made about this conversation was Tony said, I think I am more likely to believe we were just on hidden camera and somebody was feeding him all this stuff than I am to believe this guy actually exists and knew all this stuff and people. It was
Really?
remarkable.
Mind blower.
Everything we said, he came back with something else, and not in a name drop or braggadocious way, just as a relatable kind of way.
It was amazing. So that's what you get.
I know that meant something. You've mentioned several times. It meant something to you. Like now you're stalking him. You want to track him down and have another conversation.
Well, he's going to visit Brad because he lives in Greensboro, and the Mountaineers. He lives in Greensboro, right? Now, but he's going to come see you.
Well, we talked about the North Carolina.
Yeah, he's
game
going to come see
specifically
Brad when the Mountaineers
in
play
Charlotte.
basketball at North Carolina this year, and he also was Michael Jordan. He had chartered Michael Jordan before and the whole thing, but it was. But those are the things you have these conversations.
Yes,
My point to it is, you have conversations with people, and you just have zero idea when you're crossing paths with someone. Like what story? Everyone's got an unbelievable story.
Yes.
One last note. Speaking of that, one of the final groups, David Hagen's dad.
That was awesome.
Was in the coffee shop. The whole family was there. Mom came over. They were wonderful, but we had a chance to talk to his dad with a marvelous story, and glad he's on the mend and doing better. But it was wonderful to meet them as well.
Yep, absolutely. All right, that'll be it. So, what's it all mean now?
What do we do now?
I tell you what we do.
Football
come down.
kickoff next week.
So as you
Coastal Carolina visits next week. Preview episode coming.
As you all
Exactly.
if you're a regular, you know that normally this time of year we would be into the midst of our summer series of interviews.
Now we go every day.
We interviewed Michael Hawkins 4 years ago and when he was in high school and still haven't used it. So next week we'll finally release our Michael Hawkins interview, Mountaineer quarterback prospect. Right, we had Scotty Fox on, and now we're going to have Michael Hawkins on. We've got another couple. We've got Ren Baker will be coming on as well in the next couple of weeks. So we're into our summer series, but like blink, folks.
Summer's over.
There's 6 weeks, and it's going to be football practice time.
Yes.
Do you hear what I just said, Hoppy?
Yeah, I know.
I said 6 weeks, and it's going to be football practice.
When the baseball team plays till the 4th of July.
I know, which
That's
is
what
a good
happens.
thing.
Let's
It
do
is
it
a
every
good
year.
thing.
Let's do it every year. This was great.
All right, we're out. Special thanks to our producer, Jake. Jake was wonderful as well,
Oh, yeah.
and Harrison Lewandowski as well when we were on the road, and Danny Lohman and Ben Lohman, because there were a lot of pieces. Oh, yeah.
There was our headquarters.
So, doggone it, I wanted to use those earlier. That's inside the Let It Fly sports bar. We did a screen overturn there. We took all over their screens. It's a massive place. It was great.
Great place.
There's a little picture of one of the significant statues in front of the Charles Schwab Omaha baseball complex there, the celebration. That was a picture right near where Brad's hat was stolen, right at that table.
Wait a minute. That could be evidence.
That was an event that the first day that we were there, before the first Mountaineer game, Mac took it over, the Mountaineer Athletic Club took it over, and that was just tremendous.
I'm sorry. It's hard to tell because everybody's in gold. Like it looks like one big person. That was packed.
Yeah, it was-
Packed.
it was
Those days
like-
we were there. It was
yeah.
packed.
2 levels.
Yeah, double level, and it was just a great place. And there it is.
Oh.
Views from a fantastic place. If you ever get the opportunity to go out there, even if your team's not in, go ahead and do that. And there's a whole nother story. Brad and I came across 2 guys. All right, I'm going to stop the music. Brad and I came across 2 guys, because it's a podcast, you can do that. Yeah. There was these 2 guys that were cheering on the concourse when we were watching Georgia,
Oklahoma.
2 a couple of nights ago, and they're standing, and I mean, every pitch was a movement, and I started talking to the guys, and we go like who you cheering for here? He goes.
So you said, I have Georgia fans here because
Georgia or Oklahoma fans.
They reacted on a Georgia near home run.
Yeah.
The one guy went to his knees like a catcher's crouch.
Went down to his knees.
Like we would do if on Ben Lumsden's one, right?
So I said,
so he said, Georgia fans?
And the guy said, no. He said, we hate both of these teams. We're from Auburn. We're hate cheering. That's the SEC.
He said,
just means a little bit more, man.
He said we hate Oklahoma a little bit less. They haven't been around as long. We were here earlier, hate watching Alabama.
So get to the College World Series. All right, we're out. Next week, Michael Hawkins on the show. Have a good weekend. We'll see you.